Yo, all right, are we ready? What's good, everyone? I do really appreciate you guys showing up to today's free masterclass. So this is my first masterclass. I'm going to be running basically every single Monday, teaching you guys how to get started online. So more specifically, like digital products, appointment setting, remote closing, all the things that I use today to make money online. But today it's going to be more of a focus on just selling digital products, more of like an intro to like the low ticket stuff, which is originally how I got started. Now, this isn't going to make you $1 million. This might make you 10,000, but 100% it'll make you your first $1,000. And this is how I made my first $1,000 selling digital products. So I'm sort of going to break that down for you guys. But yeah, I want to run these every single Monday, but thank you guys for showing up in the first place. Um, yeah, so I guess a bit of an intro to begin with. If you guys don't know who I am, my name's Huddy. I have a construction background. So basically, for me, I was in high school, dropped out of high school early because I knew uni wasn't for me, and then got myself into a trade as a chippy, as a carpenter. So just like putting up wall frames, building houses, so doing more residential work, and did that for about 3 years. Came into like the online space with absolutely zero experience. I think the whole time, because I dropped out of school, got straight into a trade. I always knew like a trade wasn't for me either. Um, and then I was really skeptical about the online stuff. But yeah, just dove straight into getting into the online stuff like maybe a year or two after thinking about it. Had no experience, ate shit for like 6 to 8 months, and then eventually was able to get the right guidance, the right help and everything, joined a community, joined a mentorship. And in my first month of being in that, got the right advice, replaced my old income. And now I can work remote. Now I work full time doing this online stuff. And yeah, things have been pretty fucking good. So that's just a brief intro of me, if you don't know who I am. But let's get into this. So, who can actually do this? Now, the barrier to entry is fucking low. All right. Have a phone, have a laptop, and have fucking internet. Now, if you're watching this, you obviously have both of those things, or either one of, a phone or a laptop. Basically, anyone can do this. All right. That's the simplest way to fucking put it. Anyone can do this as long as you have phone, laptop, internet, and a fucking brain. All right. Or you don't even have to have a brain, bro. I dropped out of school and worked construction. So I'm not the smartest tool in the shed either. But just to show you guys a little bit more proof on, even other people that have made this work and even had more success than me, this is ABC community. So this is the community slash mentorship that I'm actually a part of. And here are some of the wins and some of the reasons I even got into ABC in the first place because I saw other people winning. So start off with Brody White. He's 27 years old from Australia, WA, so Western Australia in Perth. And he used to work as a chippy, as a carpenter for about 8 years. And then yeah, he pretty much was just super sick of it. And went into FIFO, was making a little bit of money, and then FIFO just wasn't really working out for him either. Went into the online space, absolutely no experience, made his first 10K a month selling digital products. Tavita, another good example, he's I think 21, 22 years old from New Zealand. He was actually working as a barber, making 10K a month, but he was working like 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and never had time for his daughter and his missus. So, really big thing for him was just time freedom. Yeah, he was making 10K a month, but he never had time to spend with his family, so he got into the online space, started making 10K a week. So, literally 4x his income selling digital products. Reese Roberts, another good example, worked FIFO. He was making really good money. He was making like 3K a week. Working 3 weeks of the month. So yeah, I think he was roughly making like 10K a month after tax. And once again, just had no time for him. He's got a missus, he's got his own house, and he wants to have kids in the future and didn't really see FIFO, working as a scaffolder, being long term and being able to see his family and everything. So went to the online space, made his first 20K a month. It was actually nearly $25,000 in 4 weeks and built his personal brand as well. So he's got his own like personal brand there. And yeah, even the leaderboard here, these are guys and these are pretty much people pulling this weekly in USD. So this is 11K USD, which is roughly like 16, $17,000 Australian in a single week. Another 10K USD, six and a half. And these guys, Australia, Australia, New Zealand, Australia, Australia. Australia, New Zealand, US, Australia, and New Zealand as well. So people from all areas, pretty much. So yeah, that's just, I guess, some of the, I guess, potential and proof of concept of this actual space of just selling digital products. But yeah, that's what it sort of is. So let me, I guess, explain a little bit more on what digital dropshipping is and also just selling low ticket digital products in general. Now, you have a couple of different options. You can sell low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. I'm more in the high ticket space, but low ticket digital products was how I actually got started. And it's by far the easiest and the cheapest to get started with. So, what even is it? Let me explain it in this way. So, you have two different ways you can build a brand for selling digital products. Either build a personal brand or you build a faceless brand, right? Personal brand, pretty self-explanatory. You just put your face out there, and you put your personality out there. You, with your faceless, pretty self-explanatory. You just post content and don't show your face. Pretty simple, right? There's pros and cons to pretty much both, but here's an example of what a personal brand would look like. So, Kai Fit here, he's fucking shredded and he's also very athletic. What he does is sell digital products based on how to become a hybrid athlete. So, how to be jacked but shredded and also be able to be an athlete. So, he basically sells programs on how to, yeah, become a hybrid athlete, and he markets that product organically, just by posting reels, posting content with value, showing people how to get shredded, it's showing people how to eat and have the nutrition of a hybrid athlete, and also just how to train, physique, whatever, right? But just providing value on how to actually get started. So literally those three steps, have a personal brand, create a digital product around that personal brand, and just post content about it. Simple as fucking that. And then even an example of faceless. So build a social media brand. This is on FIFO Australia. So if you don't know what FIFO is, it stands for fly in, fly out. Now, this is very popular in Australia because we have gold mines here. Sorry, not gold mines, oil mines here. And people fly in, fly out to the oil mines, but they get paid a lot. They get paid like six figures a year in your first year of working in a FIFO role. And that's why it's so like sought after, because yeah, like everyone wants to make more money. Everyone wants to, be able to make that money, pretty easy, I guess. It's not easy, but it's just like it's something where it's just like you don't have to work, or you don't have to work up the corporate ladder to make six figures a year. You can literally get yourself a role and get paid over 100K a year in your first fucking year. So it's very, very popular in Australia and in the UK. So it's very sought after. What they basically do is teach people how to get into FIFO, because it's not as simple as just finding a role and applying for it. You have to know people, you have to understand certain things. So these people do faceless content on basically how to get into FIFO. And all they do, again, they just post FIFO content, but it's not even showing their face or anything. If you see in the bio here, send us your video slash photos to their email address. So that way they can just post the content, not have to show their face, and sell a digital product completely faceless. So that's a very good example, because FIFO is very, very popular and very hard to get a job in, but very sought after. So that's just an example. Now, you look at both personal brand and faceless, there's a couple of different pros and cons. Like when you build a personal brand, you build a lot more trust with your audience because they know you, they can see you, they know that you're a real person, they have a better understanding of you, and yeah, they trust you more, therefore, because they actually, I guess, get to know who you are a little bit more, and that builds trust. Whereas like with your faceless, you're never showing your face or anything. It means like, oh fuck, I don't even know who runs this account, right? Like, how am I going to trust this person and pay them $750 for this? So it's harder to basically sell more expensive products when you use a faceless account. It means you have to have a lot more followers and a lot more credibility. Whereas like you can have, less followers, and charge a higher price because a lot more people trust you, they know you more, and they also like you, right? Because they know who you are. Whereas like how are you gonna like someone when you can't even see their face or anything? So um, that's sort of the the benefit as well with personal brand is because you show your face, you have a stronger audience, one that trusts you, one that knows you, therefore you can charge a higher price. I literally know people that have 2,000 to 3,000 followers that can make 10K USD a week just because they have a personal brand. But they're very specific with who they're targeting as well. That's the other thing. But that's also selling your high ticket stuff as well. But point is like you wouldn't be able to have 3,000 followers and sell a, high ticket product, which is like worth like $5,000, for instance, when you don't show your face. No one's going to see that price point and actually trust you. So yeah, there's pros and cons to both, as well as like faceless, you can post from anywhere. You can post other people's content. You don't actually have to sit down and film yourself. Whereas this, obviously, you've got to be recording your lifestyle and what you're doing and come up with content ideas. Whereas this can sort of be done for you. So there's pros and cons to both. But for me, I started with faceless, then I moved into personal brand because there's a lot fucking more money to be made in personal branding. So that's a little bit, I guess, of a comparison of the two. But yeah, this is how I actually got started was with the faceless stuff. Now, to give you, I guess, a better explanation, just by comparing it to something, everyone knows traditional dropshipping, right? You're selling a Alibaba product, and obviously the whole concept is the product never touches your inventory. You set up a website, someone buys the fucking product, and then you ship it straight from China to their address, and basically make a profit off that. Basically, the most basic way of explaining it. Now, the issues with traditional dropshipping is the profit margins are shit, so you're only really making 10 to 20%. Why is that? Because you're running paying ads, you're also paying for shipping as well. You've obviously got to buy the product every single time first as well. And you know, you're making 10 to 20% profit off, a product that's maybe worth $50 max, which is obviously a lot less, which means you have to sell a lot more to make, your 10K months or whatever you want. Manufacturer issues come pretty often as well, because obviously at the end of the day, you're ordering a product from China, one that you've never seen before. You have no idea what the quality is going to be like. And who knows, like the product could show up to the customer's door and it's just broken, right? Fulfillment and shipping, obviously, as well. You can promise the customer, oh yeah, it's going to be there in 2 weeks. But you have no control over it, right? There might be issues in the factory, and the product doesn't end up being shipped till 5 weeks after. And obviously, again, you have no control over that because it's not your factory. It's not touching your inventory at all. So because of the manufacturer issues, because they're cheap products, because of the shipping and everything, that also means there's going to be a high refund request ratio. That means, yeah, just a lot of people probably getting their product and realizing this is shit, this is not what I thought I was paying for, and want their money back. And then to top it all off, it's oversaturated as fuck. Like, who hasn't tried dropshipping or who hasn't heard of it? Like, it is probably one of the most popular business models in the fucking world that has ever been done. So, keeping that in mind as well. Very oversaturated. But comparing it to, your normal, sorry, not your normal, your digital dropshipping straight off the bat, like you're getting 50 to 100% profit margins because you're selling a digital product, right? Like you don't have to pay for ads. You can just do organic marketing, but you can also, you don't have to pay for manufacturing. You don't actually have to pay for the product. You can pretty much you buy it once, or you can partner with someone else, or you can create your own for completely free. And then from that point, it's 100% profit margins moving forward. So profit margins are better. You don't have to run ads. You can also sell high ticket products, right? You can never really sell physical products for, 2 grand to 10 grand. Whereas like high ticket products, you can sell coaching, you can sell info products that are actually worth $2,000 to $10,000 and more, because they provide a lot more value than, say, a $50 product from Alibaba, if that makes sense. No manufacturers, like I was saying before, instant delivery. So say you were to pay for this product right here, you hit add to cart, you hit purchase, that product right there is going to appear in your email and you're going to have it instantly. So no cost for delivery, zero refunds. Once again, like when you're paying for this, there's going to be a description. It's going to tell you exactly what you're actually paying for. So there's no, I guess, like there's no confusion of what you're actually paying for and what you're actually getting. So there's no refunds really. There's none at all because people are paying and receiving exactly what they asked for. Um, as well as it just being an unsaturated market, I haven't heard really many people at all get into digital dropshipping over, normal dropshipping or really just this at all. So it's still a pretty new thing. If you look at over here as well, right now, like this whole like digital dropshipping, selling digital products, it's called basically the info product space. That's like more of what most people do when they sell digital products. Like like digital products can range from fucking, selling AI software or selling an app. But the space that I'm more in is like the info product space, so selling information. Um, and if you look at like the e-learning space is what they basically call it, which is just electronic learning, right? That's set to be worth $550 billion in the next 5 years. At the moment, it's already worth 350 billion, but that number is only increasing, which means obviously the industry is in high demand. There's a lot of opportunity for work and a lot of opportunity to make a lot more money. So, obviously, digital products can range from fucking video games. It can range from like online movies. It can range from like um whatever guides, ebooks. It can range from uh apps. It can range from fucking basically anything. But the sorry, I should say the e-learning industry is where the money right now is. There's a lot of money to be made, and that's what I'm currently in. And yeah, obviously it's a fucking growing industry, rapidly, rapidly growing. Um, so yeah, that's basically what it is. Again, I guess to recap as well, like the e-learning space basically is just like selling education. So Client Fit here, he's selling how to become a hybrid athlete, and FIFO Australia is selling education on how to get a FIFO job. So once again, that's just e-learning. That's just teaching people how to get started um, for some sort of paid training, right? Now, how can you get started in this? Now, to begin with, you can either create your own. Now, you could be very educated in something specific. Maybe you're, as jacked as Client Fit, or maybe you're as knowledgeable as, how to get into fucking FIFO. You could go ahead and start your own if you really wanted to, and that would cost absolutely nothing. And you could use different software to actually create that product. Or if you want, you can partner with someone else, partner with another business or you can buy your own PLR products. So there's a couple of different options. Create your own, partner with someone else's, or you can buy someone's and resell it as your own. So um, that's basically how to get started. Now, when you find or create a product, there are a lot of different softwares and websites out there. These are the ones that I've used before. Now, ClickBank and Digistore are more like affiliate, so you can use their product and promote it, but at the end of the day, it's always going to be someone else's. So you're going to get paid a commission based off the amount of products that you sell from these websites. Now, Etsy and PLR is more you buy it once and then you sell it as your own, but you can customize it or whatever. And then using like ChatGPT or Teachables is where you can create your own product. So you have a couple of different options here. I'll sort of run you through what exactly it'll look like as well. But yeah, that's pretty much how you can find or create a digital product. There's other ways you can look it up as well, but these are the ones that I personally use and recommend. But how can you even find a good product in the first place? So the biggest thing is always finding a problem first and then coming up with a solution to that problem. That's just business in general. Whether it's selling a product or whatever, you to have a good business, you need to solve a problem. And what I always say is the bigger the problem you solve, the more amount of money you can make. So the bigger problem you solve, the higher value the product is actually worth or the service is actually worth. And the higher perceived value equals the higher you can actually charge. So say the problem is I want to make money, you can charge a higher price for people that want to make money because you're solving a very big problem. You're literally teaching someone how to make money. That way you can charge more. Or someone that's fat as fuck and they need one-on-one coaching, accountability, they need a full nutrition plan, they need everything. They can charge a higher price because that's a pretty big problem, right? You're, 100 kilos overweight. You need to lose those 100 kilos and you need XYZ solution to solve that problem, you can charge a higher price. But if you think about a small problem like say a fidget spinner, obviously that is a product, but how big of a problem does that actually solve? Someone wants to fucking spin it every few days, and that's it. Like that's a small problem. Therefore, you can only charge, say, $10 for a fidget spinner. So always think about it in that way. To find a good product, you want to think of a solution. Sorry, you want to think of a problem that a lot of people go through, and it's a big problem. That way, you can solve that problem and charge a high price for the solution. Now, these are the best niches to be in to actually come up with a product. And these are where the biggest problems lie, right? So talking about health, obviously fitness being one. Kind Fit's like hybrid athlete program is a good example of just health being in the health niche. The wealth one can technically be the FIFO one as well, because obviously you're paying for information to get a job that'll pay you six figures a year. So that's technically the wealth niche right there. Relationship niche, that can be, something that's popping off at the moment is there's guys that give like dating consulting or dating coaching advice, and they charge a lot of money for that. And then even like the happiness niche, you can do more like mindset coaching or mindset training or PDF files or whatever the fuck. So you always got to think about the problem first. Say, the relationship one, it's like, oh, I want to have a girlfriend, but I don't know how to get one. That's a pretty big problem that a lot of people face. So just being able to come up with a solution to that problem and then charge a price behind it. That's pretty much it. Again, a big problem. I want to make more money. I want to feed my family. I want to buy a bigger house, whatever it is. Selling the information on how to get into FIFO is a really good solution to that. Health, again, big problem. You're fat as fuck and you want to lose weight because you've got a wedding coming up and you can't fit into your suit. That's a pretty big problem, and you want to solve that, right? Things like that. So when you just to recap, to find a product, these are the websites I recommend. Make sure it solves a problem, and then these are like the main niches that you want to stick with to find a good problem to solve. And yeah, once again, the bigger the problem, the higher perceived value. Sorry, the bigger the problem, the better solution you can create, the higher perceived value for that solution. That way you can charge a higher price for your product or service. So yeah. Now, when it comes to that, obviously you stick with those niches, but then you also want to look for what's actually trending at the moment. So always keep a keen eye out on social media. There's always things popping up that you can sort of tailor stuff towards. I saw that GTA 6 just came out with a new trailer. Maybe you can tailor something to that. Always keep note of what's happening in the global news as well. Obviously, there's always things with like Trump that's happening, and that affects things all the fucking time. So looking at the global news, seasons of the year as well, right? So there's different times of the year where, maybe it's Christmas, maybe Christmas cookbooks, doing really big numbers at the moment because it is Christmas or Easter or Thanksgiving or whatever it is. Or even another example of like, maybe it's holiday season, so lots of people want to go traveling, so you sell something to do with traveling. So always thinking about seasons of the year and what's actually going on currently in the world right now, is a really good way of just understanding what's actually going to do decent. Now, the different websites you can sort of use, these are the main ones that I've personally used. Exploding Topics, which is a really good one. Google Trends, as well, and Creator Search Insights. So literally just go on TikTok, look up Creator Search Insights. As you can see, like trading Forex is popping off right now, probably because of Trump, right? So once again, it goes back to, global news and what's happening currently. That's why this is going off, right? Now, I looked on the other day on Exploding Topics, and this is just an example. Travel Guide, it has been popping off recently. As you can see, it's fucking blowing up. Um, I don't know, maybe it's a time when most people travel at the moment. I'm not exactly sure why, but just to give you an example, so say, all right, look, you found something that's trending. It's a travel guide. You're literally just going to go to Etsy. This is probably one I've used the most. Literally just look up travel guide PLR, and basically find wait, where are we? Uh, okay, wait, why is it? So you want to look up PLR. I don't know why it's come up like this. Okay, maybe scroll down a bit. So, you want to look up travel guide PLR. Now, PLR basically means PLR define. Basically means you can um it's a type of license that gives you the right to purchase and then resell it, modify it, and create it. Basically, you buy the product and the rights to the product. So once you say find one, so let's just say let's find a good one here. Piece of fucking shit. Wait. Find one. All right, here's one I just found. So PLR product. So you want to find a travel planner or travel guide or whatever, something to do with traveling, right? And you want to make sure it has PLR rights, which, like I was saying before, basically means you buy it once. You can put it in Canva. See, it says edit in Canva here, and you can just customize it so it looks like it's, yours, or you brand it as your own. Or you can keep it the same, doesn't really matter. Either way, you own the license to this. So it means you don't even have to create one. Now, yes, it's $10. Obviously, with normal drop shipping, you have to buy the product every single time. You buy this once. You pay $10 one time. Say you buy it for 10 bucks, sell it for 20. Yes, you made 50% profit on your first sale, but then it's 100% profits from every other sale afterwards because it's a digital product, right? You don't have to continue to pay for it because you already have the product downloaded. So you find the product, right? This one is good. It's only 10 bucks, PLR. You add it to cart. Then basically you're gonna go let's go over here. This is my mock Stance account. Okay. Now, pretty much you go to over here. So we found a product, right? And then the next step is going to be building a website or a landing page. Now, I use Standstore the most. It's just the one I'm the most familiar with. I think it looks good and doesn't cost as much as Shopify or Wix. Now, if you don't want to spend money, use Gumroad. It's free. It just looks like shit. In my opinion, it looks terrible and I don't like the way it works. So I always use Standstore. It's maybe like 20, 30 bucks a month. And yeah, I just prefer this one. So use Standstore. This is what I'm not going to walk you through how to get started with all of these. I'm just going to show you Standstill because it's the easiest. So you're pretty much going to log into an account, um, and you're going to basically start your 14-day free trial. Go to My Store and then hit add a product. Now you've got a fucking bunch of different options to start with, because this is, what it is. It's like a guide. It's a planner. It's like a PDF file sort of thing. You're going to want to pick digital products here, but obviously if you want to sell like a coaching call or, custom process, community or fucking membership or whatever it is, you got options there. But for this one, for example, we're going to use digital products. Basically, you just want to fill this all out. So there's title, so like travel guide, um, put it here. Now you want like a logo, so something I recommend is going to like AI logo generator. This is one I've used before. Put in, yeah, so you just like put in travel guide, um, travel, continue, skip that. We want it blue, sure. And then like try like pick stuff that's, I suppose, like related to the product. And then wait for it to load. And then yeah, literally just pick a product out of these. Sorry, a product, a logo out of these. And it's easy as that. This whole thing is free. So you can just download it, um, pretty much chuck it in here. So then you've got like a little logo for it. And then yeah, you just basically want to fill out your whole description. You can just get ChatGPT, just be like, look, can you write me a travel guide description for this product? Fill it all out, change the price. So what do we buy it for? $10. We can sell it for 19.99. How's that sound? Um, Sell that for 19.99, and then what we can do is obviously we're not buying this product right now, but for example, once you would buy the product, you would upload it here as a PDF, or if it's a website link, just post it here. Easy as that. Hit publish. And then once that's done, that'll be set up. When you hit your standstill link, it's just gonna show up here. This is why I like it, right? It looks, how fucking clean does it look? Right, you just click on it like this. Obviously, if you had your logo and everything set up, you'd have that there. $20. You have your description here, name, fill it out, boom. Connect your PayPal to it. It's easy as that. Like, how long did that really take to create? It took fucking no time at all. So, huge recommendation to use Standstore. I'm not an affiliate for Standstore. I don't even really use it at the moment anymore. But when I was selling low ticket stuff, this is what I used. 100 fucking percent. So once you get that sorted, you're gonna want to copy your link. So this link here to your Standstore, and you simply just want to promote the product with, your main social medias. These are the big three. These are the most commonly used one: TikTok, YouTube, Insta. I think Facebook's pretty commonly used as well. Depends on the product you're selling, right? If you feel like it's more tailored towards like older people, maybe Facebook's definitely the go to start posting content on that. But post on all platforms 2 to 3 times every single day. Now, social media in general, it's, I think, a volume game, right? The more you put out, the more results you get. But as well, you don't want to ruin the quality by focusing on the quantity. If you could realistically post 20 times a day, but if they're all shit videos, then what's the point, right? So I always found that 2 to 3 times every single day is a way where you can be consistent and still put out a large amount of volume, while also maintaining a quality post. So, yeah, that's what I recommend. You could, if you're just like really good at smashing out content, or like eventually you get to a point where you've got a whole editing team or like a whole systemized team to just focus on putting content out there for you, then you can up the volume, right? But yeah, that's what I guess, seen the most results with, and the guys inside of ABC as well, seeing like the 10, 20K months, whatever it is, they've all done something similar, 2 to 3 times every single day. Um, so yeah, that's my recommendation there. Now, even I guess to give you a better example of like two ways that I've done this in the past, um, when I first looked into this, I was looking into the digital stuff first, the digital low ticket digital products. Like put it briefly, it's pretty much between like $1 to $200. Was how much probably the range is there. Classified for low ticket. What I did basically when I first like started looking into this, I just looked up ChatGPT. What's a low ticket digital product? I picked a workout plan because I was in the gym pretty often at the time. Went to ChatGPT, got it to create me a workout routine, and literally got it to be in a PDF file. I actually paid someone to create it and make it look good. And then boom, just chucked it on standstill like I just showed you. And yeah, I was actually able to make my first nearly $800. Now the numbers are a bit different because I changed the pricing a little bit, but I found $30 actually worked pretty well. But yeah, that's sort of what I noticed. I put this little like statistic here, I suppose. I had to make 26 orders to actually make that, $778. But I need to sell it 333 times to actually make my first 10K a month. Now, this is pure profit right here, which is great. But once again, I've got to sell this 333 times to actually make a fucking 10K a month. And that's a lot of fucking people. And it's not as easy as it sounds, right? Like obviously you're gonna post content. I was posting like gym content, valuable pieces, very similar to I guess this guy over here. But realistically, you're not going to make a large amount of money without having, maybe 500,000 fucking followers like this guy, right? I don't have 500,000 followers. I had less followers at the time when I had this going. I think I only had like a couple thousand followers. So think about that as well. It's just like you need a large audience just to make a lot of money with this sort of stuff. Um, so yeah, it's hard to make 10K a month with this. So what I realized is the higher value the product, obviously the more you can charge. So I need to sell more valuable products is what I realized. So what I did was look into solving a bigger problem. Now I looked more into like the wealth niche, obviously helping people make money. You can charge a higher price for that because yes, they're investing money, but they're learning how to make more. So they're gonna make, they're gonna get a return on investment there. So I looked into mid-ticket first, which is more like 200 to $2,000. Um, and yeah, once again, just looked up this, found something called an in-depth online course. And now for me, I was pretty educated on learning how to build a brand and, post content. I had like 10K followers at the time, so I knew exactly how to do that. So pretty much what I did is I went to Etsy and I found this product right here. So this is basically a course on how to post content. Now, I could have gone ahead and made my own, but that's a lot of work, right? What I basically did is I paid for this for $70 and I just customized it as my own, put my own branding on it and everything, and I charged $500 for it. So I was helping people build their personal brands and sell and make money and charging only $500 for that. So yeah, that was pretty much how I started making money as well with that. I made $4,600 roughly with it. Again, I toyed around with the pricing, but this one seemed to work the best. And yeah, obviously now you look at the comparison between, 26 orders and 9 orders, but I'm making more money with this. Plus I need to make, less sales than this, like a lot less, to make 10K a month. So it's just like the higher price you can obviously charge, it seems simple as fuck, but the higher price you can charge, the less it takes to make, say, that 10K a month. So that's the way I always thought about it. When you realize, oh fuck, like the only way I need to make 10K a month is just by selling 10 $1,000 products or selling two $5,000 products, that's when you're gonna start making that big money a lot fucking quicker rather than trying to focus on how can I sell the cheapest product and sell a lot of it. The way it works is like once again the higher sorry the bigger the problem and solution you can provide to that problem, again the higher price you can charge. So even though maybe you are charging people a couple grand for a product or a service, you are providing more value to them. You are actually helping them solve a problem. Like compare this right here, like a gym pro. Oh, let's use Kind Fits as an example, right? Realistically, someone that has this workout routine, which was probably made on ChatGPT as well, mind you, um, someone that has access to this isn't realistically going to get the physique like this just because they have access to it and it's only 20 pounds, right? That is obviously of value because they know how to work out like him, but they're not going to get the same physique as him. Now, how can you actually provide more value is what providing one-on-one coaching, providing a nutrition plan, providing accountability, providing, 24-hour, service, 24-hour help to get them to this physique right here, this goal, right? That is a higher value. That is actually solving the problem of wanting to be a hybrid athlete better and bigger. Therefore, you can charge a higher price for it. So that way, if you actually say this guy was actually to help you one on one, and help you get to your goals in a shorter time frame, say it's 2, 3 months, he can charge a couple grand for that, and people would pay for that because you're providing a massive solution to a big problem. So yeah, think about it that way as well. These are the two ways that I started selling like low to mid-ticket digital products. I've had other ways as well, but these are just, I feel like, two very good examples of doing this. Now, like I said before, like you could make your first 10K a month with this. realistically, you're gonna make your first couple $1,000. But the real money and where I make my money now is in the high ticket stuff, like selling, stuff that's, worth over $10,000, closing deals as well. So pretty much what I do now, to put it briefly, is I learned sales and marketing. I went through ABC and getting mentorship and getting training through ABC. And basically understanding how to sell and market, right? I don't learn any business model specifically. I just learn how to sell and how to promote stuff, how to market stuff. So what I do now is pretty much work as, I guess, like a middleman and help people market or sell their products. So I'll literally have people reach out to me, be like, "Yo, bro, can you help me sell this? Can you help me market this?" And then I'm like a subcontractor, so I don't actually work for them. They just come to me for my help. I provide my services and I get paid for it via commission. So that's how I basically run shit now for myself. I don't really dabble in the low ticket stuff. I have in the past, not really anymore. It's not going to make you the big bucks, but it's how you're going to get a good, I guess, first step in the door, first foot in the door, I should say. But if you guys are still stuck, or you have questions, or you want extra guidance, all you need to do is DM me the word masterclass. The word masterclass specifically, so I know you've come here and you've watched it, and we're already on the same page. So yeah, if you want to, I guess, get that extra help or understand maybe a little bit more about what I do, I'm going to be running these sessions pretty much every single Monday about different things. So I'm going to chuck up a poll and basically ask you guys what you want to see the most. That way I can tailor it to your guys' needs and what you want to see, pretty much. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do from now on. Yeah, hit me up with the word masterclass if you want extra help, if you want to have a conversation. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Obviously, this is on IG. I'm going to link my IG in the YouTube description as well. But yeah. That's it. I do appreciate you guys all coming and watching my first masterclass, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you guys very, very much.